Hey, what's up, Seekers? Wanugee with GoldenDragonFortunes, your K-Rap psychic. And you know, today we're going to look at the new year. We have a birthday girl who we're going to look at her compatibility and her ships. It's one of your favorite idols. Blinks, come on in. It's going to be Jisoo. It's going to be Kim Jisoo of Blackpink. So Blinks, come on in. Here we go.
I'm your K-Rap psychic. Try me twice, you'll like it. My name is Wanugee. Oh, just call me Wanugee. I'm a wise fortune teller and a really mellow fella. Ask me about your favorite idol. See their future, see what's vital.
Hey, welcome. Happy New Year's. Blinks, come on in. Jisoo fans, we're going to take a look at compatibility for Kim Jisoo of Blackpink. The beautiful 4D personality, the visual. She's a beautiful woman, talented. She's really improved in her singing and her dancing, really remarkably so. And she's got this personality that's just four-dimensional. But she's smart and she's goofy. She's kind of a little bit of everything, and you just gotta love her. I love Jisoo. And it turns out her birthday is January 3rd, and so she's a Capricorn, and so is mine. My birthday is January 3rd too, so we're birthday twins. Jisoo, come on now. So as a birthday gift, we're going to take a look at Jisoo's top 10 ships or popular ships, but we're not going to rank them based on how popular they are as ships. We're going to see what is the compatibility of those ships based on some ancient systems. One is numerology. This time we're going to do a little bit differently. Last time we used numerology for another reading, and we're going to go a little bit deeper. So it's going to be more of an average of 4 or 5 different parts of numerology, different ways to look at it. So the scores are going to be a little bit different. They're not really comparable to the last 2 videos I did on this. But we're also going to include Chinese Batzi astrology, and we're also going to include Indian Vedic or Jyotish astrology. Those are going to be our 3 tools to figure out what is the compatibility based on these 3 ancient systems. And we're going to kind of average them and kind of come up with a countdown, a ranking of taking 10 popular ships for Jisoo and doing a countdown from 10 down to 1, which one is the most compatible based on these 3 systems. So I just want to explain a little bit briefly because some people get confused. Ships, what is a ship? A ship is basically what you fans come up with. It has nothing to do with the people involved. It's about fans. And so if you like somebody in one group and you like somebody in another group or the same group, and you really have a lot of emotion invested with them and you follow them, you kind of want to see them together. It's kind of natural. It's kind of human nature. It's kind of like kids wanting to see, 2 parents. It's just normal to see, you want to see your friends, and you kind of tease them because, well, maybe they like somebody. So this is just normal stuff, normal human behavior that you want to see. You used to play with your dolls. So you want to see things come together and be happy because that makes you happy. You get a lot of emotional investment into it. And so that's what ships are. Ships are strictly from the fan's point of view. Nothing to do with the K-pop idols or the idols. The idols, their relationships are up to them. So relationships are different. Relationships are what the 2 people create for themselves and each other. Has nothing to do with fans or whatever other people think so much. It's about them. But what we're using in our criteria here for compatibility is based on long-term marriage, potential family, kind of traditional family unit. What is the compatibility of these 2 individuals based on going into a full long-term relationship. It's not just about dating or they saw each other and kind of exchange glances at an award show. It's not about that. It's about the criteria we're using are about long-term potential relationships and having a family and having kids and, marriage. So that's what we're using as our tool for compatibility. And we're going to use it for Jisoo. And so we love Jisoo. How many Jisoo fans out there? I'm sure there's a lot of you. Blinks. Hey, come on, Blinks. Jisoo is maybe she's your bias. Maybe she's your bias wrecker. It's really hard with Blackpink because they're all wonderful and they're all kind of different. And they're all, my bias changes, all the time. Depends on who I saw last. maybe for you too. But anyway, Jisoo, you know, we're astrology twins. We're birthday twins. So I like Jisoo. I like Jisoo's. I like her personality. Great personality. Funny. I mean, she's drop dead gorgeous, but she's so goofy and funny. So great personality. Her personality is as good as her looks. So you ready? You ready, Blinks? You ready to go? Jisoo fans? Jisoo bias? You stands? Come on. Here we go. You know, you might as well, Blinks, because, you know, Blackpink isn't doing a lot of stuff right now. So hopefully they'll come up with something soon. But we'll just do this to kind of entertain you while we're waiting for, you know, all those things you've been waiting for. So who's number 10? Who's number 10 at compatibility with Jisoo? And it is Chunmin, Max. You probably don't know who this person is. A lot of you, especially you younger ones, because he's pretty much from maybe generation 2 of K-pop idols. He was with TVXQ. Now, TVXQ was a group that debuted way back when, maybe 15 years ago, and the kind of like Super Junior kind of generation. But they were hugely popular. They started off as a 5-member group, and then they had some legal issues with their agency. It was SM Entertainment and what have you. They ended up becoming a 2-member group later on. But they became very huge. They were big in Korea. They were huge in Japan. I mean, they sold millions of records. They're still a very big earner for SM Entertainment, and they still make a lot of money. It's down to 2 guys now, Yuno or Yunho and Chunmin. But they're still making music. They already served in the military. They come back out after 2 years, and so now they're making records since 2017 again. And they're still popular. They're still touring. They had 8 #1 albums in Japan. So anyway, Chunmin. So the reason I picked him is because Jisoo, when she was younger, she had a crush on Chunmin on TVXQ. That was her heartthrob. That was, you know, her Jungkook for you guys. So she even admitted this on Knowing Brothers, you know, the variety TV show. She said that was her heartthrob, Chunmin. And he's very attractive, very handsome, you know, very good looking. And so let's see what it says as far as compatibility with Chunmin and Jisoo. Let me give you the scoring system. I use these 3 different tools, and then we're going to score maybe over 50%. It's going to be a 1-point compatibility. Over 70% is 2 points. Over 85% is 3 points. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these 3 different criteria. We're going to figure out the percentage of compatibility and the points they earn, and we're going to add them up and average out what the compatibility is in percentage and total up the points. And that's how we made this ranking. All right, so Chunmin from TVXQ. Let's see what it says. For the numerology, the Chaldean numerology, it's a 60% compatibility. So that's 1 point. So that gets 1 point. Now we look at the Chinese astrology, the Batsi. It's only 39%. It's very low, no points. And then we go over to the Vedic astrology, the Indian astrology. It's also below 50%. It's only 49%. So 0 points. So when you average that out, it comes out to an average of about 49%. 1 point, but kind of, it's under 50%. So Chunmin, I don't even know if there's a ship name for this. Changsu, maybe? Changsu is number 10 in our countdown. So, you ready for number 9? Blinks? So number 9 is Jennie Kim of Blackpink. I know there's a lot of Jensu shippers out there. You know, Jennie and Jisoo, they were the first 2 members of Blackpink, and they got to know each other, you know, supposedly. They got to know each other by, you know, in the first week they met each other, they kind of went to a sauna or a bathhouse together and kind of, you know, were kind of stripped naked and talking about their plans and their goals and their wishes. So that's how they kind of bonded very early on in their training. Jensu is the ship name, I think. And let's see what it says for the compatibility for Jisoo. So here we go. For Chaldean numerology, it's at 75%. So that's pretty good. 75% makes 2 points, earns 2 points. So that's a pretty good match. But we go to Batsi, and the Chinese Batsi, it's still positive, it's 61%. So that gets a 1 point. And then we go over to the Vedic Indian astrology. It's only, unfortunately, only 36 points, 36%. So that's no points. So 36%, no points for Vedic. So that averages out to 57% and 3 points. So that comes in number 9. Number 9 in the countdown is Jenny. I mean, obviously they're close. They know each other. They know each other for years, 5 years at least, 6 years, 7 years maybe. So, you know, they're a tight-knit group. But as far as compatibility, long-term relationship, marriage, that kind of stuff, number 9 out of 10. So, number 8, you ready? Number 8 is Suho. Suho of EXO. So I don't know what the ship name is, that Chiho maybe, or Suso. I don't know the ship name. You correct me. He was born on May 22nd, 1991, and the birth date is what we use in the numerology to kind of figure out the compatibility. Although in this case, we went a little bit deeper. We used the name and the birth date and kind of some other criteria. So there's 4 or 5 different things that we look at as far as the compatibility in numerology, and then we kind of average it out and to get this score. So for Suho, let's see what the score says. 75%. That's 2 points. 2 points of compatibility for the numerology. But we look at the Chinese Batsi, it's only 49%. So not no points. And then we look at the Vedic astrology, 49% as well, no points, just missed it. So that comes up to an average of 58% and 2 points. So I mean, me, Jenny, Suho, I mean, Jenny has 3 points, but averages 57%. Suho is 58%, only 2 points. So maybe they're interchangeable on this ranking. So number 7 in the countdown here for most compatible. We're not talking about the most popular ships. We're talking about the most compatible based on these ships and based on these 3 different criteria or divining methods. And so number 7 is Lisa Manaban. Yes, Lisa. So Lisu is the ship name. So a lot of people like the Jen Lisa ship. So a lot of people like Lisu as well. I mean, they're all kind of, you know, interchangeable parts. You know, everybody kind of likes, you know, play with the, you know, the combinations there. But Lisa from Blackpink, she is born in March 27, 1997, and she's the maknae of the group of Blackpink. And let's see what the compatibility is for Lisa. For Chaldean numerology, it's 80%. So that's pretty good. That just gets 2 points, not quite 3 points. But if you look at the Batsi, the Chinese astrology, it's 50%. So that's 1 point. And then we look at the Vedic astrology, and it's 63%. So that's 1 point as well. But I've got this in purple in a different color because there's a little thing, a technicality in Vedic astrology that says that this even though it's 63% match, that the union of compatibility is not recommended for marriage and for children because there's a certain thing called Nadi Mahadosha, and it says that it's not a good match. So it should be, the relationship should be, the marriage should be avoided. And it depends on other parts of the chart. And I want to tell you that, some of this is imprecise because I don't have the actual hours that people are born. So that detail does make a difference in the compatibility and, the ascending sign and some aspects of the details of charts and these astrologies and these systems. So, so there's some fudge factor here. Maybe 25, 30% could be potentially off. Okay, so that's number 7. Lalisa Manoban of Blackpink is number 7 in our countdown. You want to know who's number 6? You guys ready? This is a very popular ship, extremely popular ship, because of the popularity of Blackpink and this members group, and this guy is very popular within his group. So the number 6 in rank is Jisoo, Taeyoung, V of BTS. So he was born December 30th, 1995, and he's actually a numerology. He's a number 3 type, which might be pretty good for a number 1. Jisoo is number 1 in numerology, based on her birth date. And Taeyoung's Tae is a number 3, and so there's compatibility between 1 and 3. But let's see what the percentages are, the points in the 3 systems. So here we go. In numerology, it's 60%, so that's 1 point. In Batsi, Chinese astrology, it's 74%. That's 2 points. That's pretty good. Well, it's just, I guess it's technically 1 point, but close enough, so we gave 2 points, I guess. Maybe I just a clerical error. and then in Vedic astrology, it's 63%, 1 point. But again, it comes down to this Nadimaha dosha. So it's in purple because just like the Lisa ship, it says that shouldn't be a union for marriage, for children, for healthy children. The Vedic system is heavily weighted toward that aspect of a relationship, the marriage and the health and of the children and the family. And so because of this little technicality, it says, no, even though it's 63%, you probably shouldn't get married and have kids. So that averages out to 66% and 4 points. I guess we kind of, maybe it's 74.5%, so it got up to 2 points. So 4 points in total. We gave Tay the benefit of the doubt. So now we're going to go to number 5. We're halfway through. So number 5 in the countdown for most compatibility, based on these 3 systems, for Jisoo is Mino. Yes, Mino of Winner. So Labelmate, they're from YG. Mino was born on March 30th, 1993, and he was on the show with Jisoo. Jisoo was a host on Inkagayo, a popular music TV show in Korea, and so she interacted with a lot of these idols, and so I've kind of got some of these videos of how she interacted with these idols, and so where we have them, some of the video, we're going to show it. So with V, she hosted some things with V for a while on Inkagayo, and this is where maybe a lot of the ship rumors or the ship clues started happening, because people are looking at how they interact, how V and Jisoo interacted on stage, on camera, on a variety show. So they did that, and a lot of people like to see that and wanted to see how they interact, and kind of have dissected that for shipping clues. And of course at the award shows to see if there's more shipping clues. But that's just what you see in their persona on camera, but that's not what you know about behind the scenes, about what they're doing. Let's face it, all these idols are trained to project a certain image on camera. They're trained to be kind of neutral on camera, but with their own group and members, they're trained to actually, interact more and to kind of create this, what I call fan service, to get the fans excited about the interaction and the closeness of the group. Because, these fans want to see the group close and get together and work it out, have fun. And so all that is encouraged by how these idols in a group interact with each other, put on a good face, do their V lives, do their little Instagrams, do their different things to show that they're close-knit, they're good friends, and maybe maybe there's something going on, or it makes you think like, oh, they love each other, they love us, we love them. So that's kind of how the ship thing works. You know, it's some of it's fan service and speculation. But anyway, so Mino. So for Mino, it is 75% for numerology. Pretty good. That's 2 points. Then if you look at Chinese astrology, it's 62%, so it's still positive, so that gets another point. If you look at Indian astrology, Vedic, it's at 67%, so a little bit better and gets 1 point. So that averages out to, for Mino and Jisoo, Mino-su, I don't know, is 68%. So 68% and 4 points. So they come in at number 5 in the countdown, compatibility countdown for Jisoo is Mino. The number 4 most compatible ship for Jisoo is somebody that you might all know, Blinks. You might be happy about this. It is Rosie, Jin Young, Rosé of Blackpink. Yes, the beautiful songstress. Actually, you know, they're the two singers, really. They sing the most as far as ballads. They don't rap, really. So, I mean, Jisoo kind of raps, you know. She raps kind of Jenny's rap when she's bored. But, so Rosé is number 4 in the countdown. And let's take a look at the numbers. Let's see, Rosé is a number 3 as well, as far as the numerology, so there's kind of a match there. But let's look at the percentages in a little more detail. And numerology, Chaldean, 87% for Rosé. That's 3 points. That's very high. 87% match in the numerology between Rosé and Jisoo. But unfortunately for the Chinese Batsi, it's only 39%. So it's below water. It's not really adding any points. But you look at the Vedic astrology, and it goes back up to 79%. So that's 2 points. So the total is 68% for Jisoo. I guess that's the name, ship name, Jisoo. 68% and 5 points. And that comes in at number 4 in the countdown. Now we're going down to the top 3. The top 3 compatible ships that I picked. I mean, maybe there's some other ships out there. I mean, there's tons of different ships you can make. You know, maybe if you want to make some suggestions on ones I missed, you can make some suggestions or tell me what your favorite ship is. For number 3, and this is a very popular ship as well. They kind of hosted the show together for some time, and was very popular. There seemed to be a lot of opportunity to see how they interact, and so that is Jin Young of GOT7, JYP's group. GOT7, they did Inkigayo hosting together with one other person for quite a while, you know, and they seem to get along well and flow well. In fact, they even did a little promo dance. Here it is. They did a little dance, you know, Uptown Saturday Night, that song from, you know, Bruno Mars. Here's their version of it. So they had to practice this, you know, they had to kind of work together to make this happen. So maybe there's some chemistry there. Who knows? Jin Young and Jisoo. It's their ship name is called Jinji. So at least it's got a different name. Yeah, it's a nice name, Jinji. It used to be Jinji-Do for, you know, all 3 members of the Inkigayo group, but Jinji. And so let's see what the score says for Jinji. For the numerology, it's 82%. 2 points, pretty high. When you go to the Batsi, it's 51%. Just got another point. And then if you go to the Vedic astrology, the Indian astrology, it's also 80%. So 2 more points. But it's in purple. So again, this has a little technicality that says, yeah, they match pretty well, but there's certain parts of the match that are not advised to move forward as far as marriage and starting a family and all that. This one's a little bit different, but it just says it's not recommended. You know, maybe there's some other factors that might help if we get, maybe if we know the hours of when they were born, and you know, for both of them, then maybe we can clear that up a little bit more. So it's still possible, but on the face of it, it's not recommended, even though it's a high score, very high score. So that's 71% average and 5 points. So that's number 3. So number 2, this person is also a labelmate, and they've done some promotions together a few years ago. Yeah, a lot of chemistry there. And you know, Jisoo, one thing about Jisoo, she's a great actress. She does, you know, I can't wait for her to get some more acting roles, because she's just a great actress. In her videos, she's great. Shows a range of emotions. You know, so she's very good. I think she has good potential for being an actress. So let's hope the best for her. You know, let's cross our fingers for Jisoo to get some acting jobs when things, you know, are available and the timing's right. But this person is Bobby of Icon. You Iconics, hey, come on in, Iconics. Bobby, very popular Icon member, and he was born on December 21st, 1995. So he's actually about a year younger than Jisoo. Jisoo was born on January 3rd, 1995. So he's Bobby is just like 9 days older than Taeyang. They're born, you know, about 9 days from each other, because V is December 30th, 1995. Bobby is December 21st, 1995. But Jisoo is January 3rd, 1995. So she's almost a year older than both of them. But Bobsu, I think is the name. So, you know, he's the number 3 as well, so that's why it kind of matches well. But let's see what it says for the score. So for numerology, it's an 87% match. I think this is like the highest numerology match we've had so far, along with Rosé. So that's 3 points. That's over 85, so that's 3 points. And then with the Batsu, the Chinese, it's 75% match. So that's 2 points, 2 more points. And then if you go look at the Vedic, the Indian, that's still positive, 61%. So that's 1 point. So that averages out to 74% match and 6 points. So it's a pretty good match. Bobby, Jisoo, maybe there's something going on there. It's number 2. So now it's time for number 1. And I couldn't really believe this, you know. I don't know if that's a good match. I haven't really seen them interact much. But it's a popular ship because, you know, this group is popular and Blackpink is popular. So naturally there's some people that make those connections and want to see that play out. So the number 1 most compatible ship is Jin of BTS. Hey, Army, come on in. Blinks, come on in. Can you believe it? So yeah, even though they're both a number 1, which they could butt heads sometimes and kind of have some issues. They're, you know, maybe have strong opinions about each other. So there has to be things that work out. But as far as compatibility, according to these 3 systems, this is the top compatibility ship. So let's look at the numbers. For Jin, it's 75% numerology and 2 points. For the Chinese Batsu, it's 86%. I think this is the highest we've had, you know, for the Batsu. That's 3 points. That's over 85%. So that's 3 points total. And then for the Vedic Indian astrology, it's 79%. Also very high. And 2 points. So that totals up to 80% match and 7 points above everything else. So Jin and Jisoo, Jinsu, I guess that's the name. They can't use Jinji because that's used for Jin Young. So Jinsu is the number 1 compatible ship out of these 10. So you surprised? Yeah, I was kind of surprised when I did this. So anyway, you know, I guess if they're going to do something, they better do it pretty quick because, you know, he's going to go in he's going to enlist in the army, you know, within the next year. So they got to do something fast if they're going to do something. Maybe they've already got something going on. What do you think? Army? Blinks? I know your Army is like, you know, okay, Army is only, BTS is only for Army, but hey, they have private lives, so, you know, let them have their lives. So what do you think? Army? Blinks? You like that? Jisoo? Anyway, that's it for now. So hey, if you want to make some comments, make some comments below. We would appreciate if you want to like and subscribe, ring the bell so you can get more of these. We're going to do another Popular Idol very soon. Also has a birthday in January. So we're going to do maybe the same kind of thing, this compatibility thing. Maybe we'll do a reading for them as well. We'll see. So stay tuned, subscribe, like so you don't miss it. Viewers in India, I want to say namaste. And a lot of viewers in Philippines. So magandang araw, And then a lot of Malaysians watch this channel. I want to say to our Malay friends, assalamualaikum. And then for our Indonesian viewers, there's a lot of Indonesians that watch this channel too. Selamat siang. And for Koreans, annyeonghaseyo. And so that's all for now. If you have any comments, you have any suggestions for who you want to see next, please make them down below. You can see our contact information down below. If you want to find out your compatibility with your favorite idol, we'll do that for you. Just put in the comments, your birth time, the hour, the day, the month, the year, the city, the country of your birth, and then you have to like and subscribe, because I can't do this for everybody, only for those who subscribe. And then I will take a look at that and give you some answers about, tell us who your favorite idol is, and we'll take a look at the systems and see if there's some information we can give you about compatibility and how you might match up with your favorite idol. So that might be worthwhile. So give it a go, subscribe and like. So anyway, that's all for now. Until next time, wishing you all good fortunes.
Hey, what's up, seekers? Looking in the future, peekers. You K-pop fakers coming round and see us every weekers. Yo, die-hard K-pop fans, I want to know your stance. Just let us know your bias, then go ahead, try us.